What's going on, guys? So today we're going to work on this N54 motor that I pulled out of a parts car. And since it's all out, I'm going to take care of all the essentials. But in this video, I'm going to take care of two things. One is the head ports, all six underneath the valve cover. And the second thing is the M18 valve cover that I have behind me that I'll show you guys later. In order to get this done, you're going to need a few tools. Set screws that I have here. These set screws will be plugging all six head ports that are on the motor. I have a little extra just in case I drop one or two. We're gonna need red Loctite and then a tap set. This will tap each hole on the head that are already there, so we don't have to drill anything. And for the guys out there that can't really get their hands on these tools, I will be supplying this kit on my website, vadersolution.com, very soon. So you guys should wait for that, and it'll be readily available on my website. So now what I'm going to do is swapping this valve cover, the stock valve cover, with the M18 valve cover. This is logoless, and this bracket for coils is made for the R8 Beamer Life coils. But this plugging of head ports does not require M18 valve cover. It actually benefits the stock valve cover tremendously. So whether you're doing the stock valve cover or the M18 valve cover or any other aftermarket valve cover, plugging the head ports has its advantages. There are many reasons why you have to plug your head ports when you want to modify your N54 car. But what I'm going to talk about is a few main benefits. And the first one I want to talk about is draining. So since we're releasing crankcase pressure, what this does, it helps the turbo here drain any oil through the system a lot easier. Long term will help the turbo last a lot longer, and you won't get any smoke from your exhaust. The next benefit, this is a really big benefit that I want to talk about. Since you're plugging head ports, you're not basically what you're doing is denying any type of reversion of oil from the crankcase system inside the head into the intake runners. So stock, let's say the car was stock, no plugged head ports. Oil will go into the intake runners, thus collecting a bunch of gunk on the valves and the intake runners, preventing the efficient amount of air into the combustion chamber. So what this does, it basically eliminates the need for walnut blasting that you need to do every year, which kind of sucks. It's not fun to do. It's not designed to hold 19 PSI out of a single turbo. 19 PSI from a big turbo is different than 19 PSI out of a stock turbo. So we're basically re-engineering the whole crankcase system. So before I get started on the step-by-step and the how-to, I want to show you guys something. So this motor, when I pulled it, had 160,000 miles on it. It's probably been walnut blasted, I believe, 2 years ago. Let's come back around, and I want to show you what happens when there's no plugs on the head ports and you're just running stock PVC system with upgraded turbos. Look at that. Look how black it comes out automatically. Let's get in there. You can already see how black it is from here, but if you look into it, it's like the black hole. Look how gunky it is. I will be walnut blasting this, so it will not look like that. But once you walnut blast it and you plug the head ports, you will not have to worry about it ever again. All right, so let's get started. First things first, whether the motor is in or out the car, you're gonna have to take all the accessories around the valve cover out. What I like to do is loosen up the fuel rail from each injector, remove the bigger fuel feed line here, unbolt it, and then just remove it all one piece. And don't forget to disconnect the connector. Then you're gonna have to remove all six coils. You could keep the plugs on there. And with the stock valve cover replacement, you don't need to remove the injectors like I did. You only need to remove the injectors if you're doing M18 valve cover. With that being said, mine already out. All you have to do is take out the valve cover. And if you got a top mount turbo, don't forget to take out the turbo as well. So come back around. I want to show you guys the head ports that I'm talking about. We have 6 of them, one for each runner. We got one here, one there. That's cylinder number 4, cylinder number 3, cylinder number 2, and cylinder number 1. You can kind of see the oil that comes out of it and stains the aluminum cast on the head. So let's take cylinder number 6 for example. It goes from here. You can follow the casting there, intake into the intake runner, and then you can just kind of see what it does. It just destroys it, gunks everything up. So before you get started, make sure you cover each runner with some sort of cloth or towel or something. This way the debris from tapping the head port does not fall into the intake runner, into the combustion chamber. So this is what I like to do. I like to take one rag for every 2 cylinders and just stuff it in there like that with your finger. Will not damage anything at all. All you're doing is preventing any type of chips from tapping into the engine. So I kind of forgot to mention this. Make sure you have some type of lube, whether it's motor oil or assembly lube. This is to reduce any type of friction from tapping the head port. Next thing is make sure that you don't put the tap straight in or angle it towards the motor. You have to follow the path from this cast here. So the path is going that way. The tap is also going that way. So we're gonna lube up the tap like so. Doesn't need too much. Go ahead, get that in there. And we're gonna wanna do this slow. What I like to do is while you're tapping it, just back out a little bit. Makes it easier once you go back in. All right, first one is done, as you can see. So let's clean that up. Get some brake cleaner if you don't have an air compressor, and just go ahead and spray that. Now it's clean. All of it went into the intake runner, and that's what the towel's for. And then just clean the tap in between each runner. Just use brake cleaner. Good as new. So like I said, you don't have to tap it all the way. So there you go. Let's get down the tool, let's get the Loctite. So let's dab some Loctite on the set screw. Not too much, you don't have to kill it. That should be enough right there. Now carefully get the set screw in the hole you just tapped. Make sure there's just no resistance. It needs to go in there smoothly. And the Loctite will take care of it from there. Now that all 6 head ports are done, as you saw in the time lapse, cylinder number 6 went in the right direction as to the other 5 cylinders face the left direction. So just be careful when you do that. Double check your work. Also, let the red Loctite harden. Let it do its job. And then what you want to do is prep for valve cover gasket. Get a cloth. Get up some brake cleaner. Spray that a little bit. And then just prep the area for valve cover gasket. Reason why there's silicone on here. Don't forget the inside as well. Excuse the leaves. Now that it's clean, we can put the valve cover gasket on and the valve cover on now. So now let's carefully put the valve cover on with the valve cover gasket in place. And for the love of God, please don't use silicone anywhere. We don't need it. And since we got a top mount manifold, we're gonna have to maneuver this a little bit. Make sure that the gasket do not come off anywhere. Oh yeah, and for the M18 valve cover, you're gonna have to remove the dowel on the rear of the head. The dowel in the front stays on. And just like that, that's it. Now we bolt it on and then put all the accessories back on. All right, now that the head ports are plugged, M18 valve cover is on. First things first, I would like to put the injectors on. These are index 12s. These are the best injectors you can get. Here's the flow rate numbers that you code, and this is how you tell which index it is. Index 12, latest revision. So I'm gonna get these installed. I'm gonna get the coil pack bracket on, the R8 coils, and then I'm just gonna put the turbo on for shits and giggles. Why not? All right, be right back. All right, there you go, folks, all done. Got all the accessories on, got the turbo on. I just gotta figure out the wastegate lines, the O2 sensors and whatnot, but pretty much done. I got the coils on, injectors in, you know, the wastegates on, dump tube. Everything's pretty much ready to go. I'm not gonna do the rest until the whole motor's in the car. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. All you gotta do now is do its final walnut blasting, and you pretty much don't have to worry about it ever again. And if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments, just leave it below and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to check out my website, vedasolution.com. If there's anything that I've done or have, most likely my website's got it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Shoot me an email. I'll get back to you.